The world of streaming content in India is an ever expanding organism with new web series, apps, streaming platforms popping up on a daily basis. With content from all over the world being just a click away, we're often spoiled for choices on what to watch. We asked actor Karan Wahi for his web recommendations and what's on his current binge list. Watch as Sneha, Menon, Desai and Karan Wahi exchange notes on their love for web content and discuss their latest favorite, The Good Doctor.
Harry has kaleidoscopic disintegration. We thought he had schizophrenia, but he does not. He has a brain tumor.
Karan, welcome to Film Companion.
Thank you.
Thanks for making the time. You know, I know you're a big fan of web shows, so I just thought it'd be great fun for you and I to get together and just figure out what you're binge watching on, what's on your list, what's on mine, because there's so much content out there, I don't even know how to keep up, honestly.
Firstly, thank you so much for calling. I've been waiting. I keep seeing my friends come to your shows and I'm like, लगता है ज़्यादा काम करना पड़ेगा life में to reach here. But I think it's fun. I think the web has just boomed and how.
Yeah.
I've been working for the web for 4 years now, and I remember 4 years back when I started doing stuff on the web. People were like, "Are you a little like crazy?
Really?
Are you cuckoo like the cuckoo club that they're in?" I was like, "Why?" But I think also probably. A few years back, everybody knew what the web was, but it was just an international thought. You know, there were platforms that were playing a lot of content abroad.
Sure.
And a very niche crowd actually knew about it in India. The pseudo intelligent audience, like they call. But I'm so glad that it's actually come to India and it's booming. And especially a city like Mumbai, if you go out now on the road, all you see are hoardings.
Every day there's a new show.
And every day there's a new show.
Like, how does one keep up, honestly, with all... And you have the added problem of making them and consuming them. So I have no idea how you do
No,
it.
but it's good, yeah. I think it's great because I think as an actor, it's just given us a leverage. It's given us the leverage to perform more. Now, I think no actor or no one who wants to be in this fraternity, actors or writers or producers or anybody, can say कि अच्छा काम करना है. I think you know, that entire aspect about television and films, when these two mediums were primarily there, TV has always been considered not too creative, but it's very massy because of the time constraints.
Sure.
Films also are, you know, I think 1 out of 10 films are actually creatively, oh my godish, in this country. Otherwise, also that's also primarily made for the mass. I think this amalgamation of TV and films, which is called the web, is great because you get to do content. You also, I think I personally have come across a lot of content on the web, on different platforms, which have, I think, inspired me because I think as an actor, you need to watch a lot to, you know, to absorb certain things, because I've grown up watching Bollywood, so love is a certain way. Anger is in a certain
arms,
way.
like
Yeah, it is, and I don't you know, shy away from the fact that बस रोमांस शाहरुख खान से ही सीखा है तो सीखा है, अब क्या कर सकते हैं, मतलब रियल लाइफ में भी वही करते हैं, मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि रियल लाइफ में कुछ और कर देते हैं, because we feel that works. But when you see, you know, shows that are made in the country and abroad, you see so many different aspects which you relate to, and you learn so much more, which is great for all of us, I think.
So what's on your binge list? What are you binge watching?
There are a lot of things that I'm binge watching actually. I used to binge watch a lot of documentaries.
Really?
I love documentaries, like docudramas and short stuff. But I think over a period of time, like we said, that there's so much content on the web. I got into the entire aspect of watching series. There are a lot of shows on different platforms, but on Sony Live, I've watched Insomnia, loved the show. I started it because I thought I am an insomniac.
Are you?
Yeah, I don't know. I think everyone in the city is. I think for some reason, you know, they used to say, na, Mumbai, the city that never sleeps. I think the Mumbaikars are the people who never sleep. Mumbai city sleeps now. People, everything is shut in Mumbai. People are like just awake. Then I've been watching The Good Doctor that I've been talking about on my social feed. also. Great show, but our doctor shows are very different. Our doctor shows were more about love and less about thinking about the patients.
Yeah, the actual medical drama. Because I think it's so fascinating when a medical drama is made well.
Yeah.
I've actually also been watching The Good Doctor on Sony Live. And
I love the show. I think it's great because I think it has everything. It has a teeny bit of that love
Element
also. Then there are issues that probably doctors in real life go through.
Yeah.
We don't.
They're also human, na?
Yeah, we never see that aspect of it because we've always seen doctors very calm and composed.
Yeah.
और say कि अब इनको दुआओं की ज़रूरत है, दवाओं की नहीं. But I think thankfully we've moved on from that aspect of doctors, and we're seeing that even doctors are human beings, and how they perform under pressure. Sometimes you relate to them because you realize that they're also doing the same thing that you might end up doing. Sometimes they, completely flip and drastically do something out of the box, which makes you also think that, wow, that's why you're not a doctor.
I've actually been thinking, it may sound really silly, but since I've been watching the show, I've been thinking, whenever I'm like in a tricky situation, I'm like, what would Dr. Sean Murphy do in this situation?
I've tried that once or twice, but then I think Sean Murphy. I think comparing Sean to yourself is great at times. Because all the
you all want to be like
all the good all the episodes that he's like done it right, you're like, I think I would have done it the same way. It's great, I think I love the show. Also the entire aspect of autism, because I think in India especially we don't connect these two things, like a guy who's playing a doctor is suffering from autism is very unheard of. Like, usually a person going through this has to be taken to a doctor. In India, that's how we call it, because we call it a taboo, or we think about it as a taboo. But I think it's great. It's a great aspect because I think it inspires people. At least, like we were talking off camera, it might just inspire parents of kids or people to never lose hope. And it also tells us all that sometimes we just ponder about the aspect that this person should be treated in a certain way. I don't think so. I think it's a great thing that a show like this has been made, and people will be once people watch it. If whoever's watched it has, I think, messaged me, because when I was on social media, when I put the post for the first time about the show, there were a lot of people from abroad actually who kept on telling me the season 2 is here, and I was like, India mein abhi aaya nahi. And they're like, no, it's come. And I think it just inspires people and tells people that there is more than what you see, to a lot of human beings out there.
For me, actually, what I really liked about the character again is just how he managed to convert what everyone else would look at as a weakness into his strength.
Best thing about Sean's character is he's endearing.
He is.
He's very endearing. Like, so you never, like, even if I think that is, as an actor, that's the best quality to have, because when he performs in the show, even if he does something wrong, you don't get angry at him. And not because he's suffering from an aspect of life, but just because he's just very endearing. Like, look at that face. Like, I know women must be saying that, but look at that face. Playing a doctor, I know how difficult it is to convince people. I think he's convinced us all.
But speaking of being an actor, you have actually, I think, very vocally spoken about how you used to be really scared of the stage. And look at you.
I'm delayed.
You're still scared.
I have this issue. I don't know from where has it come. Like you were saying, talking about weaknesses and turning them into strengths. So I think the first time I went on stage, I have it on video. I was 3 years old, and I'd become Chanda Mama. And my mother was the vice principal of the same school, so she would always sit in the front row. So I would always be very shy to perform in front of her. So I would always go on stage, and she told me that, when you go on stage, think everyone's deaf and everyone's blind. No one can see you, no one can hear you. Just do what you want to do, because you only know what you're about to do. So even if you don't speak anything.
That could just be part of the script.
Make sure people think that is probably part of the script. So I tried that. When I tried that a few times, it worked for me. You have to see me dance on stage. If you ever see me perform on stage, there's not even one time in my life. So I did a dancing show.
Yeah.
I did some 15 performances. There is not even one performance where I've not forgotten because I looked into someone's eyes.
But then your mom's advice is great because we don't know.
But the judges were not blind. They didn't give me marks.
Okay, I could just keep at this discussing binge lists and what's on the web right now, but I think we should just wrap things up with a rapid fire. And because we've been talking so much about The Good Doctor, I thought I'll try and play psychiatrist and just try and assess your EQ.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
And for those of you guys who haven't, there are 2 seasons of The Good Doctor on Sony Live ready for you to binge watch on. So what I'm going to do is give you a situation that you've possibly been in real life, and I want to know from you what Karan Wahi would do in that situation. And since you said you're a big fan of Sean Murphy, let's also try and understand what you think he would do in this situation.
I hope I know.
You're an actor and you need to have figured the character
See, if
out.
I fail today, you're the psychiatrist, so you are not a good doctor then.
Wow. So it's on me.
मैं तो patient हूँ.
Chalo. So if you can't get a shot right, what would you do? Are you likely to sulk or storm away from the set?
I think I would definitely sulk. I would never storm off because ठीक है, if it's not a good shot, it's not a good shot. I used to think that it never comes on my face. Even if I'm sulking, I'm very like, I'm a poker face, but I'm not. My friends tell me कि बेटे
The whole set knows.
तुम्हारे चेहरे पे दिख रहा है कि you're sulking. So yeah, I would sulk, but I think with Sean, I feel neither of the two, because I think he won't sulk or storm off. I think he would just like overthink about it and he'll just get a solution and find a solution and make sure that it works out.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not like us, na. I'm just a common man. Just like.
So what is Karan Wahi like when he's really angry, and is that similar to Sean?
I don't think so. It's very similar. It's, I think, completely opposite to what Sean would be. I think Sean, when he's angry, he'll not let it out. He'll keep it within himself, and he'll probably go in one corner and just by himself probably take it out.
What are you like?
I'm just I think I'm very impulsive, and I've always been that, and I think this is one aspect of myself that I'm trying to like not change, but at times I've said things which I didn't mean because I was angry. When I am pissed, I just want no one to be around me.
Achha.
And I think that's the only time when everybody wants to be like, everyone wants to pacify you. And yes, you're so pissed. Like, at least I am so pissed at that time. Then I'm like, no one's getting me. I might be wrong also. I don't care. But right now, just
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. And nobody leaves me alone at that time. So I just blast. I think I'll say things which are in my heart at that time. May not mean them. But मैं बोल दूंगा, मतलब मुझे बुरा लगेगा तो मैं बोल दूंगा कि तुमने ये किया तो इसलिए मुझे बुरा लगा. And I get really loud. So
basically just leave him alone.
Yeah, just leave me. Like, I think my close friends now know. I am pissed. They know, leave him alone for 5 minutes. That's it. He will come back, sit and probably apologize also. Like, I'll do that also. Like, even if it's my fault or not my fault, I'll just come back and I'll say, sorry, happens.
Okay, so you're waiting in a long queue.
Yeah.
Do you stare at your phone or do you talk to the person next to you, and what would Dr. Murphy do?
I think he would just stare at his phone. He would just not, I think he's not the kind of character who would easily mingle with the crowd. That inert shyness and that he has, I think he'll just be on his phone. I will be on my phone unless and until there's like a pretty girl who's hitting on me.
Then you'd indulge in conversation.
Then I wouldn't mind indulging in. Even if there's a guy, I think if anyone can have if you can have a conversation with me, I'll have a conversation. But if I'm not interested, then you will only find me in my phone.
Okay, How would you react if someone ditched you on a date?
Has someone ditched me on a date? Yeah, actually, yeah.
Really?
Oh, I will be. I've been ditched on a date, but that was ages back. I don't know how I'll react now. I might just find myself a new date or a cover up. But the last time I got ditched, I became a janani, like an auntie. I was like just giving, I gave too much grief to that girl, and I was not even telling her that I'm pissed. So I'm like, oh, fine, you don't want to come and all that. But I think, yeah. But now I guess I'll just find myself a cover up. I will, if I'm ditched on a date. मैं अपनी date क्यों खराब करूँ?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But will Dr. Murphy do the
he
same?
won't. He'll just get pissed and he'll just keep quiet. He'll be like, he's a nice boy. Like he's not like, he's just. I think he's a superhero. He'll just be very calm and like he'll be angry obviously, but I think he'll not be vocal about his anger. I guess he'll not just take it out on anyone. Just probably keep it inside, and that's the way he is.
Okay. So you want to take a trip to the mountains.
Yeah.
Do you just pack your bags and go, or you plan it out meticulously?
I plan a lot. I overpack.
Acha.
I
Multiple options.
make sure
For all weather conditions.
I don't know why I do that. Like even today, like I make sure that I will pack my bag. Like I pack my bag very like very properly. Like it doesn't look like a guy's packed the bag. It looks like my mother's packed the bag. Like everything is placed. But the only problem that I have is I put extra stuff. Like I'll put, if I'm going for 5 days, I'll put clothes for 10 days and I will wear only 3 pairs of stuff that I've taken. Like I'll repeat those 3 things again and again. I'll not wear the other. And yeah, I think I am like that. And Sean, I guess, he'll be very proper. This is one place he'll be very like me. But he's not going to take extra luggage. He'll just be very, prim and proper about his luggage. His socks will be properly folded. His shoes will be kept properly. His shirts will be ironed and like kept.
Stacked.
Yeah, stacked.
Yeah.
I do that too. Yeah.
What's your desk like? Is it super organized or jumbled with everything that you're working on
Very
at that?
organized.
Really?
Very organized. My desk, my house, everything. I think it's just I have an OCD issue. I guess that's why. Otherwise, I don't have like कुछ भी पड़ा रहे कोई problem नहीं है. But I guess when you're living alone in a city, I think either you learn how to become the best version of yourself, or you just go cuckoo. Then everything is everywhere. But I think in that case, I think I relate to Murphy's character. I think very organized. Because I guess your surroundings should be neat and clean. You just feel nice and happy.
I think it's safe to say that you're very much in touch with your emotional quotient, and it comes across with your presence on screen as well. And you also have a piece of Sean Murphy in you.
I hope. It makes me more wanted amongst a lot of people. I think I think we all have a little bit of Sean in ourselves. You can be, because see, he's quiet at times. He's rigid at times. He's not very impulsive by the way he shows, but there is an impulse within him to do things right, to make things right. He will also get oh my godish when things don't fall in place. He also frets like all of us, and fuss about a lot of things that we do. It's just that I think because every individual is different, it just comes out differently. So I think each one of us has a Sean Murphy within us, and it's good to have that. That's what makes us human.
I knew this was going to be so much fun, just getting together and exchanging notes on what we're binge watching. So thank you for making the time for
Thank
Film
you so
Companion.
much for calling me.
I had a great time, honestly.
I love it. I think it's always fun to know what the other other people from the fraternity are watching, or for what everyone, the consumers out there are watching, because there are times you miss on to certain shows.
Because there's so much.
There's so much, exactly. What all can you watch?
and create in your case. So for those of you guys looking to just get some great recommendations on English content, just go ahead and download the Sony Live app. Thank you.
Download.
Here are flowers and chocolates.
Are you asking me out?
Yes.
I would love to.